In the distant future, water has become the most valuable resource. After many bloody battles between the faucet factions, only 2 water faucets remain. The power to dispense what little water there was left on Earth could only be wielded by 1 faucet. There can be only one.
Full disclosure, guys. Dometic, and however you pronounce the company name that made this faucet, did not send me any products. I have not been paid. My opinions are completely my own as usual. So let's go. Get it? All right, I know, I'm not that funny. Keep my day job, right? So let's just compare some products instead. In my right hand, I have the Dometic Go hydration faucet that you guys have probably seen on another YouTube channel by now, or maybe at like a Overland Expo or something. And in my left hand, I've got an Amazon special that's significantly less expensive. Which faucet is gonna reign supreme? Let's find out. Let's get ready to pour some water. Before I show you how these 2 faucets work, let's just go over some of their details. And we'll start with the Dometic Hydration Go faucet, which is $100. So it's not inexpensive, but it is what it is. There's 1 control button on the top. If you double tap that, it'll start flowing water. That water will automatically shut off at 1 liter. That's pre-programmed into the unit. It's got a little light under it for when it gets dark, and it also has a magnetic base. It includes 2 mounting plates, so 1 cup-shaped one that I'll show you in detail later, and 1 flat plate that you can just stick to whatever you want. And it comes with this little hose too that has a little quick disconnect attachment on that end. The rechargeable unit has enough power to do about 40 gallons of water, so that's quite a bit. Now, the Amazon unit, this is only $23, and it can do 40 gallons as well. It's got 2 buttons on top, and this little silver part, you just flick that open so that it can flow water out of it. And the 2 buttons are up here. This button right here will adjust the automatic water shut off at either 2 liters, 6 liters, or 8 liters. And the button on the other side, that's what causes it to flow water by just single pressing it. I already said it does about 40 gallons of water too. And yeah, that's pretty much the details on both of these. So let's see how they actually work though, because there's a big difference in how they function, and that may be kind of a deal breaker for you guys. Let's see how these faucets work. Let's start with the Dometic Go. Remember, it's hooked up to the Dometic water jug right now, so a double tap, that's it. Tap it again, and it shuts off. I'm gonna borrow that water hose, and I didn't mention it earlier, but this has a little base on it so that you can get the hose 90 degrees up into here, because these are originally designed for those, you know, those big clear water jugs that you get delivered to your house. That was the original intent of these kind of water faucets, and there are a lot of them, especially on Amazon right now. So for the sake of this demonstration, to make it easier for me, I'm not going to use the base. I'm just going to plug it in from the bottom here. And single tap, and the water goes. The flow rates are pretty identical. I don't know the exact flow rate numbers, and nor am I going to look that up for you, but they're pretty identical. There's one problem with this guy though, and I'll show you what that is. For this part of the demonstration, I've got the water bottle full, and you'll see why in a second. We're going to borrow the hose from the Dometic, and I'm just going to drop this end into the water bottle, and we're going to start with the Amazon special. So we'll plug this end in, and just like before, I give it 1 tap, and it starts flowing water. Now, up here, when the faucet is above the water source, it's perfectly fine, right? But as soon as I start lowering it, it starts leaking. Above the source, perfectly fine. Below the water source where there's back pressure, it starts leaking. And if you guys have seen any other video reviews on these type of Amazon special faucets, like you'll see that they all pretty much do that. As long as there's back pressure, it's leaking water. Now, let's try the Dometic. We give that a double tap, flowing water like normal, right? Up here, no leaking. Down here, no leaking. Up here, no leaking. Down here, no leaking. And I know this is a very, very specialized case kind of a scenario of it leaking and not, but I feel a lot better with it not leaking at all, as you just saw, versus this guy that seems to want to leak as long as there's any back pressure. So I guess, and I'm not like a water faucet engineer or scientist, but I guess there's some kind of valve in here that actually like turns it off. Whereas this one is literally just a pump, and it's just pumping water through. So when there is back pressure, it's just flowing because there's no shutoff valve. Now, that may be a deal breaker for you guys. That may not be. For me, it is. I want to have the freedom of being able to position this faucet like wherever I want to put it. Like if I want to put it down on this table for some reason, I can do that and not worry about it leaking. Whereas this guy, I kind of can't. So for me, it's the Dometic Go faucet all the way, 100%. I know that's a huge price leap from $23 to $100, but again, for me, that's worth that extra cost. Now, the water jug, like I said, I'm not going to do like a review on it or anything, but I'll tell you what I like about it. Number one, it's just a good size. It's 2.9 gallons, which is a decent amount of water to carry. And I'm used to doing like the 5-gallon jugs. Like I have the 5-gallon Lifesaver for filtering water, right? And I had a 5-gallon Scepter water jug too. The problem with those is they're really heavy. Like I don't go camping to like work out or whatever, right? So it's a lot easier to move something like this. And this is pretty much full right now, except for like a couple bottles of water. So that's number one. Number two, like it just pairs really well with the faucet, and it's got a couple neat features on it. Let's turn it sideways real quick. So if you turn it sideways and you have two of these, you stack the other one on top, that's the exact exterior dimensions then of a standard 5-gallon jerry can, which is pretty cool. They really thought about that when they designed this. You have a vent cap right here. That's where the quick disconnect plugs in. So it's like super easy, super fast, very user friendly. And right here is a cap that you can use for filling it, or there's a little spout in the bottom here. It's full of water. I don't want to open it right now because all the water's going to come out. There's a little spout in there for like just normal pouring it. And it does come with a little like on-off kind of a spigot too that I didn't bring with me, unfortunately, but you can screw that spigot in and just use it like more like a normal water jug with the on-off valve. And that's about it, guys, for this. So Dometic Hydration Go, whatever it's called, faucet. I like it. I think it's worth the money. This guy, yeah, if you don't care about it leaking, by all means. I put links for both of them down below for you. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you'll join me next time. Always remember, destinations don't matter, the journey matters. This is Roger, over and out.
Oh, you had some premature water there, huh, John?
One problem that I found with this though is that if you put the faucet below the level of the water source, I don't know if my hose is long enough. I'll show you that in a minute. Something happens.
Please don't waste any water. That's bad policy.
Okay.